Hey guys, welcome back, and it's 38 minutes ago. And let's do my father. My name is Spotty. I can't recall how long I've been alive. For many years my life was the same. I looked for food in the shops and in the trash. I lay in the sun, looked for food again, and I found a place to spend the night. Day after day, year after year. Although there's one thing that was different. I've been getting older. I was walking alone in a small path in the suburbs. I came across an empty lot. This lot used to be a gathering place for all the homeless cats around here. Not long ago, I'd been circled by yellow tape. Heard some rich Chinese real estate developer had bought a place, along with a whole lot of old residents. Soon they'd be building a brand new shopping centre. Didn't really matter to us anyway. There were plenty of other spots for the cats. Besides, the cats that used to hang around here have rarely been seen for any more. Most of the cats I'd been familiar with had died in random corners of a big city. Unlike house cats, we had to pay the ultimate price for freedom. Life in the city was brutal, challenging, and most of us were forced to say goodbye to this world before we even turned free. If you was like me, who were fortunate enough to survive more than 10 years, could barely walk too far nowadays. Sometimes cats like us might even slip and fall into a toilet, or are drinking from it. My body kept getting slower. My mind, however, seemed to be getting more active. I'd been spending more and more time thinking about my cat life recently, especially with my dear old daddy, the lessons he'd passed on to me. Dad had always been so good to me, many of the things he'd taught me were still so valuable. I used to think I could stay young forever, but I reached the same old age as Daddy when he found me. Dad had mentioned that he used to be a house cat once too. It was like the incredible lucky ones. It was adopted some time after my birth by a rich couple living in a dream life. Never to worry about food or shelter, we humans adored him too. Soon the couple had a family with a cute daughter. One day, a male human took Daddy in the park for a walk. That day he met an unbreathable taking the beautiful orange tabby. Daddy was immediately smitten. He used every trick in my book to get his humans to take him out for walks just so he could see her. Maybe God had been blessed out with him, so we were able to get together more and more often. The last time we had to roof for a human's apartment, he and the tabby spent a whole lot of lovely nights together, harmonising the most romantic nocturne ever known to cats. While Daddy was enjoying his love life, his home life was abruptly turned upside down. His lovely family of humans collapsed. Endless fights and quarrels, smashed dishes and plates. Daddy's fate took a cool turn on the 10th day after a male human left. He was standing next to his bowl, which had been empty for over a week, and meowed in a hurt and hungry voice. She finally exploded and threw a burning hot pan filled with boiling soup at Daddy. That's how Daddy almost lost his life, almost lost all of his sight. He never saw his Argent tabby again. And he never went back to that dreadful place of what I once called home. When he found me in the trash pile at the market, first thing he told me was to never trust humans. I used to feel puzzled about how Daddy ended up feeling like this. However, a few years after Daddy had passed away, I accidentally gathered enough pieces to put together a puzzle. The same night, when Daddy had been enjoying his time with his tabby on the roof, his male human was doing exactly the same thing with a female human of the orange tabbies in the bedroom of Daddy's home. Maybe it's because the male human has been too careless, or maybe the female human has been suspicious for a while. It might have been because of cat hairs and Daddy and Tabby and left around while they were playing. For whatever reason, the human was soon out of a bag. The human world, besides the heat, there are things like moles, laws, relationships, and all that kind of nonsense. Female human was probably not allowed to kick and scratch a male human, so she turned against Daddy, who didn't have what they call human rights. Sometimes I wondered if Daddy ever met his orange tabby, but still hate humans. Two young male humans walking towards me. I remembered them. They worked at a police station where I frequented for my drinks. When I started out to pass me, the younger one stopped, before the other one with purple head too. Sat down and looked at them, hoping for something unrealistic. Younger human pet my head with his hand. I could smell of alcohol in his breath. Lieutenant, you know how to have a pet over at your place? Too bad my partner's not pet friendly. The old man looked uncomfortable. Well, not good with that kind of thing. Well, just expected. When I was a few years younger, I would always put on a cute face that would meow at humans who pet me. Now I knew for sure that even if I sucked them up, no one would take me home. Two police officers walked further away. There were fewer people on the road. Eventually it was only me. In the road, under dim yellow streetlights, I saw a big human and a small one. The adult had a beer bottle in one hand, and the other hand kept hitting the face of a crying child. Kept walking towards him at my own pace. I was just a passerby. In the city, things like this happened all the time. No one ever gave it a second look. Not even Cat. Just when I was about to walk past him, I suddenly realised a third person had joined the pair under the lights. It was a tall, thin, blonde foreigner in a blue blazer. He grabbed the collar of a drunk human, and he started hitting him the same way a drunk had just hit a child in his face. Blonde foreigner. He reminded me of several blonde foreigners who used to live around here. Seemed to have disappeared slowly, one by one. I couldn't remember the last time I'd seen any of them. The foreigner pushed a drunk man. Heard a loud noise of a huge collision. A grey truck, with its headlights broken, drove past me, moving quickly towards the direction of a street light. The child stopped crying. The grey truck went past the scene of the fight, without slowing down, and quickly disappeared out of sight. It was like life itself, and no matter how hard one struggled and fought, life just kept going on and on. Meanwhile, just getting older and older, and nothing ever changed. That being said, a blonde young human was an exception to humankind at least. I sat down near a child and decided to enjoy this vigilante justice. The child stared blankly at the man being beaten. He mumbled something. 1, 2, 3. I pondered for curiosity for a while, before finally understood. He was counting with teeth had been knocked out of the drunk man's mouth. Humans never really understood us. They thought we liked being petted and tickled, and all we ever wanted dried fish and milk. Perhaps similarly, we never really understood humans either. A true understanding between us probably something we've never been able to achieve in our lifetimes. Left those 3 humans farther and farther behind me. Kept walking ahead, looking for a place to spend the night. Spotty. Okay, about to kill someone in front of a truck. Finally, I attempted to grab a child. Unfortunately, it was too slow. Under a street light, the child was lying in a pool of blood. Grey truck either didn't notice the accident or decided to ignore it. The drunk man stumbled and ran away. He left his son behind, or perhaps it wasn't his son in the first place. Foreigner seemed to set the child down the side of the road and ran after a man. Snow began to fall. It wasn't right season to be snowing. I felt the face of a child was already getting cold. If I stayed here any longer, I'd freeze to death myself. There is actually apparently 5 endings, one of which I can't get apparently. I think that's what I can't get. Okay. The grey truck drove into a small ditch only metres away from the 3 of them. A woman with short hair climbed out of a smoking truck, looked around and ran away as if there was something urgent. Meanwhile, everything continued on with lights uninterrupted. It was like life itself, no matter how hard one struggled and fought, it just kept on going uninterrupted. Meanwhile, we just kept getting older and older. I was still hitting the man. The drunk man was still begging for mercy. The child was staring blankly at her, mumbling something. Humans never understood us. Perhaps we never understood humans. Okay. Oh, following up as a drunk man. Huge collision. The child stopped crying. On the streetlight, a blonde foreigner was lying in a pool of blood. A woman with short hair and dramatic earrings jumped out of a grey truck. She spit out a few curses when she saw a gruesome scene and hastily got back in the truck. Didn't even notice a metal box had fallen out of her pocket when she was climbing back into a truck. Woman stepped on gas as soon as she got into the driver's seat and the truck disappeared out of sight. The drunk man survived after a foreigner had pushed him away, but he had disappeared from the light of a child who had been gone for quite a while. Under the light, a human. A cat. Blood was still spilling out from underneath his body. Walked closer and saw a big dark scar on the back of his neck. Daddy used to have a similar burn mark in his eyes. Mine were a rainy day when I lost Daddy, and the accident had taken him from me. Blood was spilling out from underneath Daddy's body as well. Well, I could remember there was a boy running out of a car who had killed Daddy. So he recognised this foreigner was born and raised here. I couldn't remember what his name was. I could remember a scar on the back of his neck. He was a boy from that day. That's right, it was him. So I could not remember what his name was, but I could remember his mother had the same blonde hair as him. But lived up a hill nearby. I could also remember he used to buy me milk when he was a child himself. Ever since the day of the accident, I hadn't seen him again until now. Snow began to fall from the sky. It wasn't the right time to be snoozing. I lay down on his bleeding leg, thinking that maybe this would help him a little. If someone walked by, I could ask them for help. The air around us was getting colder and colder. The snow was piling up on us, thicker and thicker. My eyelids finally couldn't resist the exhaustion anymore. They were closing slowly and slowly. When I woke up, I thought I'd died, or maybe I was in a dream. I was lying on a human's bed, covered in a human sheet. Zonny was lying next to me, breathing steadily. It was a strange room, filled with warm yellow sunlight. There was lots of thick books on the shelves. A globe was placed on the top shelf, and a row of lively books and small wooden figurines lying next to them. A light breeze came from the outside, through the window, and I think that it was a sunny day right after it snowed. It's a little cold, a little sweet. On the balcony there was a flower I'd never seen before. My colour of fire was waving lightly in the sweet breeze like a small dancing flame. Where sunlight shone through the petals and cast a bright red shadow on an unfinished diary was unopened on a desk. Beside a diary, I saw a metal box with blue curvy carvings. The box had been dropped by a short-haired woman. The woman's blonde hair was shining with sunlight. His calm, sleeping face seemed to be assuring me that it was just another normal and peaceful day. Still could not remember what his name was. I did not know where he'd been or what he'd been through all these years. But none of that mattered anymore. What mattered was I had finally found a place to return to. Oh, we got a door with 26 minutes to go. That's interesting. Should I click it next time? Yeah, I'll click it next time. Bye bye.